We are going to get started in a bit. I don't have a quorum as yet. I just wanted to run out and let you know. I know you're here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always participating. As soon as we have a quorum, we'll get started. Have a quorum, but we would like to do some recognitions while we have the entire planning department here and they need to get to work. So we're going to start with recognition for our planning department, and I'm going to have the director, Ms. Lakeisha Hull, take us through this.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So as you can see, the planning department staff is coming up. We have a great staff of over 40 people. These people, they work on historic preservation, they work on hearing board tasks, they work on urban design, land development, comprehensive planning. We have admin staff, so very excited to have the entire department with us today. So can we have a round of applause, please? I've had the pleasure to be in this role for about 18 months, and so this month is what's considered National Community Planning Day. So across the country, planning departments celebrate National Planning Day. So what does that mean? It means that we're planning for better communities. We're planning for good staff to be responsive from a customer service standpoint. We're updating our permitting timelines. We're definitely trying to make the quality of life in Miami a lot better. So very happy to have an opportunity to be with Commission today to get this recognition. Thank you, guys.
And this states that the City of Miami salutes our planning department for all the reasons that she just stated. So congratulations, everyone. Wow, look how many people are here. And you know, in 3 minutes, we're going to get complaints that no one's answering the phone in the planning department. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So this, to me, is recognition that's sort of been long overdue. And I have a tremendous amount of just appreciation, respect for Lakeisha and her entire staff. This department is one of our shining stars in terms of just ability, easy to work with, very proactive as a department. And I owe a lot, I think both Ziri and I do, in terms of what the work Lakeisha has done in conjunction with the entire staff. We're very proud of this group. I get an incredible amount of positive feedback, and I don't get a lot of that. It's not in this job, unfortunately, because a lot of what we get is complaints. But about this department, every bit of input I get is positive, and that's a credit to everybody here. So congratulations, well deserved, and I want to thank the chairwoman for kind of taking the initiative on this recognition as well, because it's very, very appreciative for all of us, because it's a reflection of the whole administration. Thank you.
Mr. Ziri, I would love for you to say something.
So the planning department is one of my best departments so far. I've got 5 of them, and there are 5 stars. So among the 5, you guys have done tremendously well. We appreciate the good job you're doing, especially the turnaround in the past couple of years. Good job, congratulations, and keep the flag flying high. Thanks.
Congratulations again. Everybody, best faces for our, where's the photographer? Oh, I see you. Okay. Commissioner Coppel, I didn't see you.
I was standing in the corner. Congratulations, you guys are amazing. A lot of help for me and a lot of guidance as well.
Thank you again.
Thank you, guys. We have another recognition, Miami Latino Art Beat. Don, will you come forward? You have to, too? Good morning. How are you today? I understand that you're going to be guiding us through these
I am.
presentations.
Good morning. And I need to apologize for the delays. I'm not the mayor, but I know everybody has been very patient and trying to wait for things to happen. My name is Don Rossi Nuccio. I'm president of Latino Art Beat. We're a Chicago-based corporation. However, we are a state of Florida non-for-profit. What we do is we run an annual art competition for high school level students. And the winners get scholarships. So you're going to see a couple kids today who have gotten substantial scholarships through our collaborations with various academic partners. And the young lady who you see here on the left was our national winner. She's from Miami. 13 years ago, 13 years ago, she still participates with Latino Art Beat. She is now a teacher and a professional artist, and she loves Latino Art Beat and what we do for young kids. So, un aplauso, se puede. Over the years from this dais, I have presented over $5 million, if you guys still feel like applauding, to young students who win in our competition. I want to thank our partners, the Mayor Suarez's office, Miami-Dade County Public Schools. This year we have the Hyatt Regency Hotel, and we're doing our 25th anniversary art gallery show tonight. So if you guys are available, all you have to do is say, Don, I saw you in City Hall, where's my food? It's at the Hyatt Regency between 6 and 8 o'clock this evening, and the winning students will be there. Unfortunately, some of the students had to get back to class, so they're not all here today. But I'd like to, again, thank Micah for being here, representatives from Miami-Dade County Public Schools, and let's start calling the students up. So, do we have Juana Fava? She's honorable mention from Mast Academy, or do we have a representative from Mast here? If not, they'll get the certificate later. Liz Fonseca, honorable mention, film and animation from Doral Academy. Doral representative. That's the top winner, $20,000. This is not the student, but it's her mother. Next, we have Zaid Rugama, third place Miami from Miami Springs High School. So either the student or the teacher. Madej Celadon, second place Miami from Miami Senior High School. And by the way, all of the student artwork is not here. We've just brought a couple pieces across. And I do apologize for my colleague here for holding that piece up. So we'll have to get her breakfast later today. Congratulations, Madej. And now, this large piece that you see there was done by Nicole Molina. And she's our first place winner from Miami this year. And she's from New World School of the Arts. So teacher, principal, the student I know is not here because she's in school. Where she belongs, right? So we have one of the teachers from Dash who's going to accept for a New World student. So see these schools, they work together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And she's first place.
Yes,
Thank you. Let's do a photograph. You're going to come up here too. Now, that was a weak applause. Now, this year we created a new category for Miami, and it's called Best of Show. And the student who has won Best of Show created this piece that Candy is holding up. He's from Design and Architecture Senior High School. And we presented him with a $20,000 scholarship to attend the Maryland Institute College of Art. So I'd like to bring up Enrique Oropeza. And his mom can come up. His mom can come up. And could we have, who do I have here from the Maryland Institute? Could I have you come up also? And because he is the best of show and he's got the largest scholarship this year, we're presenting you also with a plaque. And it says, Miami Latino Art Beat honors the 2023 Miami Best of Show Youth Art Competition winner presented to Enrique Oropeza. You get a $10,000 scholarship. Sorry, I made a mistake. It's a $10,000 scholarship. Now I'll probably have to honor it, right? See what happens when the mayor is not here? And the scholarship is issued through a collaboration with the Maryland Institute College of Art and the Latino Art Beat collaboration. Take your certificate. Enrique.
Thank you so much.
A very quick story. We all make mistakes, right? I was at the theater in Calle Ocho when Mayor Regalado was the mayor of Miami. And our national winner was from Miami. So we invited the student there, a little short girl, beautiful artwork, which is on display at the Hyatt Regency if you'd like to come this evening. And I presented her with a scholarship of $40,000. There are 400 kids at the theater. And I said, this is certainly enough to get her through college. Do you know what those kids did? They all screamed out, no. Now, Regalado is next to me. The television, Telemundo, which is being broadcast, is next to me. And I said, I'm going to make a concession. I just bumped it up to $60,000. And I said, are you guys happy now? What did they say? No. I wound up in the end of giving this talented young Miami student a $136,000 scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you. We are always here, the City Commission, my colleagues, for our students, for our young people. 100%. We are always here, and we're honored to be a part of this. Thank you. I have a quorum now, so we're going to start our meetings, but we have a few more presentations to get.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So today we're going to acknowledge the work of two individuals who are artists and intellectuals dedicating a significant portion of their lives to condemning and globally exposing the reality of political prisoners in Cuba through their work. Many of these prisoners are intellectuals themselves and even elderly. As we know, Cuba has been under a dictatorship for more than 60 years. And the prisons continue to be filled with prisoners of conscience whose only crime is expressing their thoughts. That's why today we dedicate this day to Cuban political prisoners, and we would like to recognize Lilo Villaplana, who I guess is here. Whereas Lilo Villaplana is a remarkable filmmaker whose work has significantly contributed to the fight for freedom in Cuba, through powerful creations like the series Leyendas del Exilio, which recognizes prominent figures of the Cuban exile, and feature films like El Caballo, Plantados, and Plantadas. As well as his shorts, La Muerte del Gato and La Casa Vacía, Villaplana has shed light on the struggles faced by the Cuban people, and whereas in addition to being an acclaimed director of popular TV series such as El Capo and Dueños de Paraíso, Lilo Villaplana has globally condemned the horrors endured by political prisoners in Cuban jails. Whereas his latest movie, Plantadas, has also received numerous international awards and is based on the testimonies of women who were once political prisoners in Cubanist Castro dictatorship. And whereas today we acknowledge the role played by Lilo Villaplana in exposing the ongoing horrors within Cuban prisons, in observance thereof, I call upon the good people of the City of Miami and the Honorable City Commission to join me in honoring Lilo Villaplana for his dedication to Cuban freedom. That's why Mayor Francis Suarez and me, Commissioner Sabina Cobo, we actually dedicate this proclamation to Mr. Villaplana. Congratulations. We also want to give a proclamation to Iracema Otero. But we can take it together because they're partners. Yes.
Okay.
Let's wait for Iracema. Perfect. Whereas Iracema Otero is a Cuban producer who has left an indelible mark in many hearts and minds, Iracema has truly stood out for her exceptional work as producer, collaborating alongside her life partner, the renowned Cuban filmmaker Lilo Villaplana. Whereas together they have brought to life acclaimed cinematic masterpieces that have garnered international recognition and praise. Whereas Iracema's contributions extend far beyond the silver screen, she has been a beacon of courage, fearlessly raising her voice to shed the light on the atrocities of the Cuban dictatorship and the plight of political prisoners on the Caribbean island. Her tireless efforts to spread awareness and speak out against injustice have transformed her into a respected and brave producer in the realms of both cinema and television. And whereas today we celebrate Iracema Otero, not just for her remarkable talent and creativity, but also for her unwavering commitment to the truth, the justice, and the power of storytelling. Congratulations. That's why Mayor of the City of Miami, Francis Suarez, and Commissioner Sabina Cobo dedicate this proclamation to you with our fellow commissioners.
¿Quieres decir algo, mi amor? ¿Quieres decir algo?
Muchas gracias por la proclama, a Sabina Cobo. Agradecer también a Manolo Reyes y a Joe Carollo, que siempre apoyan los proyectos de cine del exilio. Y también recordarles que mientras estamos aquí todos reunidos, en Cuba hay presos políticos, y hombres y mujeres presos. Así que es una vergüenza que algunos políticos, algunos empresarios, algunos artistas estén lavándole el rostro a la dictadura castrista, haciendo negocios con ella. Mientras Cuba esté en dictadura, no se negocia con esos canallas. Muchas gracias a todos. ¡Viva Cuba Libre!
We are now going to begin the City Commission meeting for October 26, 2023. Joining us today to provide the prayer is Mr. Adonis Parker Jr. Hold on one second, let me sign this. He is a wonderful young man, so spiritual, and I'm honored to say that he's a part of my team. He's stepping in today for the pastor that we had scheduled. Please join us in prayer.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody take a breather real quick. Just, yeah, because it's Thursday. It feels like Monday again. But I'm truly grateful to be here. Let's all bow our heads and prepare our hearts for this prayer. You can stand up, you can sit down if you want. Just prepare your heart. Thank you, Father God, for allowing us to be here, to be present with you this morning, Lord. I pray that you guide all of the hearts this morning. For the ones who are sitting in these seats and the ones who come before this post, Father God, I pray that you lead us in every guidance and every direction that we go. Every choice that we make, every item that we see, Father God, may you help us oversee it and make the best judgment. I pray that we have such a beautiful, blessed, amazing, fantastic week. And God, may you lead our hearts and our minds. For the ones who are suffering, Father God, may we see that and may we have compassion and understanding. And may we also do the things that we need to do, Father God. May you lead our hearts, minds, and spirits today. And may we be led by you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Vice Chair. And at this time, Madam City Attorney, would you please read into the record your statement? No, this one.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Detailed information about the process, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the city clerk and comply with the related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available at the city clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of this City Code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 233 FNG of the City Code, the agenda and material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours in the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the Chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the Chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 10:48 and remain open until public comment is closed by the Chair. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to elected officials, their staff, and city administration throughout the day, so the elected officials may consider comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to elected officials, their staff, and the city administration up until the Chair closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided live at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. The City has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, that public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114 Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney's office on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of an item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. P&Z items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, or appellee, may be physically present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the City Clerk. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications pursuant to Florida Statute, Section 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. For appeals, the appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission, followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendation they may have. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices at this time. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami's TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, and the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. Mr. City Clerk, will you please read your statement for the record?
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who will be providing testimony sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of City staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the City Clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and or quasi-judicial items. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all the notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules of procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes,
And Chair, may I administer the oath for the planning and zoning items?
please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you will be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, may I please have you stand and raise your right hand. And this is just for planning and zoning items. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at today's hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, do you have any items that are to be withdrawn?
Yes, Madam Chair. At this time, good morning, Ms. Chairwoman, Commissioners, Madam City Attorney, Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and/or withdraw the following items. CA5 to be deferred to November 16 meeting. CA5 to be deferred to November 16 meeting.
That's it?
I'm waiting for him.
Oh.
Okay.
CA5 will be deferred till November 16th. November 16th.
PH3 to be deferred to November 16 meeting. PH3 to be deferred to November 16 meeting. FR1 to be deferred to December 14th meeting. FR1 to be deferred to December 14th meeting. PZ1 and PZ2 are companion items to be indefinitely deferred. PZ1 and PZ2 are companion items to be deferred indefinitely. PZ3 to be deferred to December 14th meeting. PZ3 to be deferred to December 14th meeting. PZ10 and PZ11 are companion items to be deferred to November 16 meeting. PZ10 and PZ11, companion items deferred to November 16 meeting. That's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Over one more time, real quick, all the items that have been deferred, just to make sure I have them all right. Just quickly.
No, I'll do it. I won't do it as eloquently as Ziri did, but I'll do it. Certainly not with a regal accent, but CA5 to be deferred to November 16th. PH3 to be deferred to November 16th. FR1 to be deferred to December 14th. PZ1 to be deferred indefinitely. PZ2 to also be indefinitely deferred. PZ3 to be deferred to December 14th. PZ10 to be deferred to November 16th. And PZ11 to be deferred to November 16th.
Mr. Vice Chair, do you have any items that you'd like to withdraw or defer? Okay. Commissioner Koval, do you have any items that you would like to withdraw or defer?
Defer PH2 to December.
PH.
And, Madam Chair, defer FR3 to January for more clarification for me.
PH2 until when?
December meeting.
Which one? Oh, it's only one in December.
We only have the 14th, right?
Yes, it's only one in December. Okay.
And then FR3 for the first meeting in January.
And for the record, that will be January 11, 2024.
Thank you, Todd.
Okay. Madam Chair, PC 19, I prefer not to defer it. I just need to have the administration and the city attorney have ready when this item comes up. If you need more time, we'll leave it towards the end. The guarantees that the zoning changes that were given this property are only going to be for this property, and that it will not have a domino effect on other properties along that corridor of 8th Street. Actually, it's on 9th Street, but it's behind it, behind 8th Street.
Is this for the museum?
Yes,
It's a citywide ordinance, so anything that complies with that.
I understand the citywide, but in that particular area, what I don't want to do, and I don't think this says that, I don't want to open up the floodgates that we could start building back there high. So,
We'll address it at.
We'll address
okay, well, I'm just giving you a head start because I don't want to defer it. So I just want to get the guarantees on the record when this item comes up. So, Madam Chair, if you could leave this towards the end so they could get all that information together.
And I'd like to defer indefinitely PZ 15 and 16.
Madam Chair, and I have also one more request, please. Mr. Manager, I either need more clarification on RE2 or I please ask for a deferral.
We certainly could defer it and come meet with you at in the interim. If you want, we can defer it to the November meeting.
Okay, that works.
All right, so that's RE2 until when?
November.
16th.
RE2?
May I have a motion to set the agenda?
Move.
Second.
All in
Chair.
favor?
Just a couple of things. First, Commissioner Coro, there's a board item that we have for today. Commissioner Coro will be appointing Joseph Corral to one of his seats on the Planning, Zoning, and Appeals Board, which we can address later. Mayor Suarez would like to co-sponsor PZ 19. I need to read a brief statement into the record. Pursuant to Section 62-22 of the City Code, indefinitely deferred action initiated by the city will cost the city mail noticing, advertising, and posting of properties as applicable. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have a time certain item that we need to have heard. So if we could take up SI1,
F or S?
S is in Sam, SI1, and I'd like to open public comment only for this item. Anyone wishing to speak on behalf of the Wynwood bid final assessment, please come to the podium. Wynwood bid. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, My name is Manny Gonzalez, Executive Director of the Wynwood Business Improvement District. I have had the honor of working on behalf of the city for business improvement districts now for 15 years. On June 9th, we actually had an election. It was a 6-week election that ended on August 18th, and we had a 56% passing rating. Part of what we are trying to accomplish is the extension of the Wynwood bid for an additional 10 years. And in today's item, the item that's being discussed is the assessment methodology. So you understand, we were at 26 cents per square foot 10 years ago. We used the CPI index and basically put it now at 31 cents. We are still the cheapest business improvement district, cheaper than Lincoln Road, Coconut Grove, and South Miami. So we're still the cheapest. Now, when it comes down to what we have been able to do, in 2013, because of the commissioner's wishes to enact the bid, I truly have to say that I'm beyond proud, and you should be beyond proud, especially District 5, our chairwoman. We have created, with the cooperation of the city, every department in this city, from the manager to Javi and legal, this could not have happened without Public Works and Police, this partnership. And we have taken a neighborhood that basically had less than 800,000 people 10 years ago, and today it's at 15 million. We have also been able to contribute the most amount of money out of any board to the City of Miami Police Department. We have over $500,000 that we've committed and installed for cameras. We have another $150,000. Just to give you an idea, during the pandemic, Wynwood was attracting about 30% of all the visitations in Miami, and there were no other neighborhoods with more than 7. And that's because of the open air. So we have been able to generate an exponential amount of jobs for our sister neighborhoods, Overtown and Wynwood. And we are willing and hoping to continue on this good trend for the next 10 years, if it's the wishes of the commission to allow us to keep doing successes and on your behalf.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of this item?
Madam Chair, if I may read just a couple things in addition to that.
I'm going to let you speak. Hold on a second. The city attorney will read into the record some information with respect to this item.
Thank you. We're here today for the commission to consider SI1 pursuant to resolution number R230360 adopted, which fixed the time, place, and date of today's hearing for the purpose of allowing owners of properties to be assessed for Wynwood Business Improvement District pursuant to the preliminary assessment role identified in resolution number 230256, adopted June 8, 2023, and on file in the city clerk's office for any other persons interested therein to appear before the city commission and be heard as to the propriety and advisability of stabilizing and improving the bid, as to the cost thereof, as to the manner of payment therefore, and as to the amount thereof to be assessed against each property. Now that the executive director has given the presentation, the city commission will hear any testimony from the affected property owners, and the property owners will be given the opportunity, if any are here, to provide testimony for not more than 2 minutes. After that, then the city commission will sit as the equalization board to hear and consider any and all complaints from assessed property owners as to the special assessments, and shall adjust and equalize the assessments on the basis of justice and right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on this item? Seeing none, public comment is now closed. We are now going to serve my colleagues on the commission, as the Equal Stabilization Board.
Yes, Equalization Board?
The Equalization Stabilization Board. Or Equalization Board?
Equalization Board.
Okay, because they tell me these things like just right this second and expect me to remember all of this. We are now serving as the Equalization Board. My commission, may I have a motion for SI1?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody.
And at this time, I'm going to open public comments for all other issues on the agenda today. Anyone wishing to speak on behalf of any of the items that are before us this morning, please step to the podium. Good morning.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair Carollo, Commissioner Cole, thank you very much for hearing us. I am Rafael Montalvo. I'm the president of the Bay of Pigs Veterans Association. 62 years ago, I was a rifleman with the 2nd Battalion. I landed, I fought, I ran out of ammunition, I was abandoned, I was in prison, I was rescued, and I've been in Miami, and I'm a Miamian today, ever since. We're here today because on this item, it's going to permit the museum of the Bay of Pigs, which has been there for a long time, to continue once we leave. And we're all very old, so there's very few of us left. So we're converting the museum to audiovisual, and we're doing it in a very professional manner. We have here a number of people that are the new team that's going to take over after we leave. And we really would like for you to allow us to do this professional audiovisual museum that it conveys. It not only memorializes all of those people that died in the Bay of Pigs, but it conveys the message of why we fought then, because it's as valid then as now. We volunteered to fight for freedom, and we still do. The message is very valid, very vivid today. So we're going to have here some speakers that we're all going to be very brief. But if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Good morning. Hi. Good morning, Commissioner Carollo. How are you? Nice to see you. Chairwoman King and Commissioner Oval. I thank you for a moment. I'm here as a testament to these young, brave men that are sitting here that join me, and I'm just here to I'm very honored to represent them as a testament. In my particular case, I am the daughter of one of those that fought for freedom and lost his life. This horrific, historic event that changed the course of the Western Hemisphere, because today we're still fighting those issues. Now we have a base, an enemy base, 90 miles away, unfinished business with Nicaragua now and Venezuela, and hopefully not Colombia. But my father, a young man, a young family man, an Olympic athlete, and my mother young with 4 small children. My father, just like many of the men here, risked his life. A lot of them risked their life, and a lot of them died and lost their life fighting for freedom. And my father was one of those that stepped up and knew that he was losing his country. And this was what we stand for. The values of having freedom has no price. And so he fought, he was captured, and he was brutally murdered and executed by the firing squad. He was one of the first that died during the Bay of Pigs. As soon as the support that the United States stopped, was unable to support and continue with the invasion, that's when the executions started. One of the first to be executed was my dad. My mother was captured with him, and she was sentenced to 30 years. Thank God later we were able to get her out, and she did not serve the 30 years, and they were left with 4 small children. And so I'm here as a testament to what has happened and continues to affect us and this country. And I think it's so critical and so important that this story be captured, preserved, and told in truth for many generations to come, because it's something not only that affected our Cuba and our lives and all those young brave men that fought that are here still today, but for many generations to come, because it is still affecting us today and in our country. So it's so critical that this be preserved and remembered in honor of their memory and all of those that fought hard and lost their lives.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And my apologies, Chair, if I could have the speaker's name for the record. Ma'am?
Could we have your name for the record, please?
Good morning. My name is Scott.
Sir, just a moment.
Can we?
Sorry, Claudia Puig.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Carlos Leon. I'm also a veteran of the Bay of Pigs invasion. As I walked into this Hall of Freedom and Democracy, I realized there's only one painting hanging from its walls, and it's a painting of the battle in the Bay of Pigs. So I realized that you're sharing the same beliefs that we have. A museum is not a static museum. When you walk in there, and Vice Chairman Carollo and Mayor Suarez, I've been there many times, it is an intense human interchange of communication. Most of the tourists that we get from all over the world come in there because of the comments of the previous who have visited us before. And we zoom from that museum to high schools and universities all over the world. And I just hope that we continue doing that in the future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Buenos días.
Good morning. My name is Humberto Chino Arguelles. 63 years ago, on October 31st, I arrived in Miami, getting away from an island that I loved and we loved. And we all came here for one purpose, to go back to Cuba, not to stay here. We went there to fight for our freedom and to live in our country. But we were abandoned and betrayed. We were young, full of values and full of principles and super ideals to go back where we came from. 63 years later, we're here to ask you for our help in order to maintain the legacy of the famous day of April 17th, 1961, which is a day for history to remember, because that bad decision has brought a lot of very bad consequences that we're still living today. And that's why we are working very hard in order to keep and maintain the legacy of the Bay of Pigs Veterans Association and its Brigade 2506. And we'll thank you for your support.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. If she's speaking on the same topic, I'd rather let her go ahead. No? Good morning, Commissioners, Chairwoman. I'm here to, first of all, I want to thank you for deferring item number 16 so that we have the opportunity to work on those items. And I'm here to extend my support for PZ item number 6, which is with the Design District, and the fact that they're working with the community, and we appreciate it. By the way, my name is Ulysses Kemp, 76 Northwest 39th Street, Miami. And just wanted to put on record of support.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Browdy. I live at 888 Biscayne Boulevard. I'm here to thank you for deferring FR3. I know you're trying to make Miami a better place, a vibrant place. We support you in that. FR3 is a very bad way to even approach it. We live in downtown with a lot of noise. It's part of downtown. But I represent the 560 families of Marina Blue. There are 30,000 families in our immediate area, with 11 high-rises going up right now that will bring a total of 50,000 people downtown. Citizen M Hotel has announced that it's going to have outdoor, at its pool, music, DJ nights. We have the events at the arena. We have Bayfront Park. All those events stop at an hour. Now, under this proposal, There could be music all night long. What's a special event? What's a special occasion? M&M Day? Somebody's birthday? A quinceañera? This is ill-defined. It is badly thought through. We urge you not just to defer it from one meeting, but to defer it forever, unless you want to limit it. You want to limit it to the business core on Flagler? You want to limit it to industrial areas, to places where people's residences will not be affected? That's fine. Nobody wants to limit the business opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it. Good morning.
Morning, Chairwoman. James Torres, President of DNA. I'd like to speak briefly as it relates to FR3. Thank you for deferring that item. I know Sabina Cobo took the lead on that, so we greatly appreciate that. However, we're also asking that maybe...
I'm sorry, Commissioner?
That's not an endorsement, trust me.
Oh, okay.
And you're still not taking my 2 minutes away, just want to be clear.
Be sure.
No endorsements.
Come on.
So, be clear. The item as it's written today talks about cafes, where they're currently allowed to serve alcohol until 10 p.m. That time will change based on the city manager on specifically changing that event that could go into midnight. The other item is cafes could also sell alcohol on events that could go until 3 o'clock in the morning. In Woodwind itself, you can actually suspend the NRD noise ordinance for special occasions. Again, the definition of special occasions, what are they? With everything that's going on in Brickell, this is just bad for the city. So we kindly ask that this gets looked at yet again in terms of its deferment and not allowing it to move forward. So that's the issue that I'd like to present. The other thing that I'd like to bring up is, as we know, the city of Miami Beach is moving forward with a very stringent homeless policy. I'd like to share for the record that the DNA would like to have that conversation with the commissioners, because what's going to happen is from Miami Beach, they're going to start coming over into the core and throughout the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Linda Alger. I live at 2784 Southwest 29th Avenue, Miami, Florida. For the past 52 years, I'm a lifelong resident of Dade County. I need to give you a little background before I speak about this item on the agenda today and why I'm so upset. You'll understand why all my alarm bells and whistles have gone off. About 40 years ago, most of the properties in my neighborhood across the street from my house were taken by eminent domain to build the Coconut Grove Metro Rail station. My property remained. So I literally live in front of the New Grove Central development, which I fought for. I was at Dade County Board of Commissioners when Grass River wanted to sign the lease to build that project, and I supported. I was the only resident from Miami-Dade that showed up to support that lease being signed. I was at all the workshops and hearings when 11,000 was changed to Miami 21, and I fought for myself and my neighbors to be rezoned to T50 because we literally live approximately 50 steps from the Metro Rail and the Underline for that matter. I was at the groundbreaking for the Underline. So here we are now. Grove Central project is just about finished. The residents started moving into the 402 units in the 23-story tower on October 16th. Just before they moved in, apparently, there was a rush order put in to hook up fiber optic cable, and Hotwire was brought in to do that job. Hotwire took their cable, actually it's called a line. They took it under several streets, 125 feet of sidewalk, to a handhole in the sidewalk next to my neighbor's house. They jumped under his yard using boring equipment and bored through all 4 of our yards to put their fiber optic cable, which they then had to take out under another sidewalk, under a swale, under a guardrail, and another block and a half to get it to the front of the Grove Central residences.
Ma'am,
okay.
Thank you. Your time is up. I could have someone speak to you from the city manager's office so that you can finish, but we need to move the public comment along.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's first reading item number 2. If you look at the exception, it's about easements.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is John Bennett. I live at 168 Northeast 43rd Street. This is regarding PZ9. My property backs up to this proposed new building on 2nd Avenue between 42nd and 43rd. In their proposal of PZ9 number 7 and number 9 seem of concern to me, because number 7, they're proposing to move the open space requirements off-site, giving them more square footage, more mass to their building, which I'm concerned is not good for our neighborhood. Number 9, they're proposing that the events that could happen in this open space that they're proposing for a new rezoned space directly behind mine is they're asking for no permits for these events and no limits to these events. And as a resident directly next door, I have a problem with that. Thank you.
Chair, my apologies. Back at the speaker's name again. I'm sorry. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Nuno Felisberto. I live at 4725 Northeast First Court, and I represent the Buena Vista East Historic Neighborhood Association. And I also want to talk about PZ9 and just around the events element. Because of the encroaching developments around our neighborhood, we were also very concerned about the point 9 in item 9 regarding events with no permits. And we just wanted to put that on the record.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Brenda Betancourt, 1436 Southwest 6th Street. In reference of the FR3, even though it has been referred, I think it's a double-way street. We have businesses who want to do some extra, parties, but we need to make sure that the special events are not being abused by those who the only thing want to do is just drink and then, unfortunately for us, drive drunk on the street after those hours. In reference of the co-enforcement question for you is those who hasn't assigned any members of the code and those who have assigned code members in the code, can you commissioners please talk to the board members that you represent you to make sure they actually come to the board meetings? It's sad, and I think it's irrespectful to the residents of the city of Miami, those 200-300 people who comes to the co-enforcement hearings, wait online, do everything they need to get done, and then we do not have a quorum. I think it's important for us to not just represent you as a commissioners, but it's important for us to attend the people who has been under pressure, knowing that they have a co-enforcement violation and they don't understand or they don't know or just worry. So I really appreciate if you guys can, as a commissioners who represent the people, to please speak with those who represent you and the co-enforcement boards, that we need their help. We need you help for them to actually show up. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Seeing none, the public comment portion of our meeting is now closed. May I have a motion to approve the City Commission meeting minutes for July 27th, 2023?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item passes unanimously. We are now in our consent agenda. May I have a motion for CA 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8?
Madam Chair, and CA1 is as amended to $37,600. Thank you.
with CA1 as amended.
Okay.
Move.
You could give me one more minute, Chair?
Sure. I have a motion
Just a second.
and a second.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. May I have a motion for PH1?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. May I have a motion for RE 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8?
Madam Chair, I
How about
would,
PH2?
It's the PH2 was deferred until December 14th, and
PH3 is
PH3
deferred.
is deferred as well.
Okay.
So we're on the
So-
REs. Commissioner Koval?
I wanted on the record clarification for RE6.
You want what?
Just an on the record clarification.
Okay.
Of how it would work.
On the,
Mr. Springs.
Okay, if I could get someone from the police department in RE1.
Larry Spring, Chief Financial
You're not from the
Officer.
police department. sir.
He's,
No, I do not represent police, sir.
he's on RE6. Good morning, Mr. Spring. How are you today?
Wonderful, thank you.
Good to hear.
I just wanted, Mr. Springs, for you to clarify on record how does this process work? Because I got a call from a couple of journalists this morning
Absolutely.
asking me.
So when we, as a normal customary part of our borrowing process and issuing debt, we pass these intent to reimburse resolutions. The intent to reimburse resolutions allow the city to proceed or commence projects and utilize basically to the layperson, our savings account, while we put the bond deal together, while we finalize the scope of work for the projects that are going to be financed, and then we go to market. When we sell the bonds, the intent resolution allows us to pay ourselves back for what we use from our savings account during that process. So you've passed several intent resolutions. So I'll give you an example. City Commission a few years back passed an intent resolution for $150 million to start the process of the new administration building. At our last commission meeting, you all approved the bond deal, which was $285 million, which is what we know the project to be. So now, when we issue the debt, the money that we've spent towards that project, doing design and all that stuff, we will immediately be able to reimburse ourselves from it. So the item you have today, that's all it's doing. And I think in the general public, Marine Stadium project is something that has, a lot of eyes on it. We have acquired 2 grants that are supporting the completion of the boat ramp component that's in this resolution, as well as the mooring field in the basin. So we've gotten fine grants. So now, when you pass this, we will be able to proceed with getting those 2 components finished and be able to accept and utilize the grant money, which is 50% of the project. So that was one of the critical reasons why we needed to bring this intent resolution at this time. It also, unfortunately, and I'll take this moment to put on the record now, the city passed an intent resolution back in 2016 for the Marine Stadium project. That intent resolution did not advance to a bond deal before the expiration of that intent resolution. So because of that, we needed to replace it with this one. But whatever hard capital costs we did spend during that previous period, we're now going to have to absorb ourselves. So it is our great intent to make sure
That it
this
won't
bond
happen
deal,
again.
it will not, while I'm
Promise
here, it
me.
won't happen again.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I can promise you that. That's not a problem.
So that's why this is time sensitive, eh?
Correct.
Okay, just
Thank
making
you.
sure.
Thank you.
And Mr. Police Chief? I believe my vice chair has some questions.
Yes. Chief, thank
Good
you.
afternoon. Manny Morales, Chief of
Good
Police.
afternoon. I'm seeing here, Chief, that this is for Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
The what, sir?
Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
Yes, for the motors.
Why is it that you're asking for Harley-Davidson when the last time that we were asked for motorcycles, there was such a strong request for BMW motorcycles, if I remember?
So, Commissioner, there was...
I'm just trying to figure it out.
So I know that there had been, under the last administration, some discussion whether we should shift the fleet of motorcycles to BMWs versus Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
I don't remember the specifics over. I know that there's some benefits to both.
Well, supposedly the only thing I remember is that you can maneuver the BMWs much better, but outside of
remember
that,
that-
I don't remember much.
The most significant difference that I remember is the braking distance, right? So BMW had a much shorter braking distance that would enhance the safety of the officers, but I don't remember the specifics of it. Since I wasn't involved in that transaction, I know that the recommendation was made and passed to continue our long-time usage on Harley Davidson, so we move forward with the Harleys.
On price-wise, is Harley Davidson a better price than BMW?
So I know that Harley Davidson is a lease, which does give us the ability to kind of trade the motorcycles as we need. There's a lot of wear and tear of the motorcycles, versus BMW was offering a purchase price that later on would be able to auction at the end of the lifespan. But from my understanding, the lease was a better option for the police department due to the high usage.
How many motorcycles that we're looking at here?
This allows us to go up to 31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay, how many motormen do we have now?
Right now, we have a lieutenant, 2 sergeants, 3 sergeants, and we have 2 are down, so we have 22 motormen.
22.
The what?
Okay, 22.
22 motormen,
Yeah.
plus the 3 sergeants and the lieutenant, so it gives us 26.
26.
So we need some spares, so when we take them to the shop, we kind of,
I understand. That's fine. Thank you.
okay, thanks.
Thank you, Chief. Happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
The chief's birthday this week. It was his birthday. The 23rd.
Well, birthday boy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I have a motion and a second for RE1,
Yes.
RE1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 7 and 8 as amended.
Nope. I got some quick questions on 3, 4, 5 so far. So can we get into them and maybe?
Well, no, 3 is not in, because 3 is a mitigation, so 3 is not in.
Right. Well, that's
Right,
correct.
so 3 is not
mitigation.
in. You have a question on what else?
On
RE4?
4 and 5, just brief questions.
Okay. Mr. Manager, we have some questions for RE4.
I know.
Parks.
I'm
Parks,
not
that's
allowed.
it.
I'm not allowed to speak on RE4
Right,
because I have a
but
conflict.
you were gonna say
But my
that-
parks director can certainly
Okay.
have to.
It's a grant for the track.
Right, but here's what I want to find out. It's a grant from where?
The Orange Bowl Committee.
Are they providing all the money?
They're providing a 50% match grant. Chris Evans, Parks Director.
Yeah, what I'm trying to find out is, because I want to make sure this is not one of those, you put the little bean and you shift the glasses. I want to find out if they're truly putting half the amount, or whatever amount they're putting in, into this Orange Bowl Legacy project, or have they, used the bean or mirrors, so we end up paying for all of it.
No, sir. It's a 50% match grant. The funds are going towards the artificial turf replacement in the track and field only.
Okay. Mr. Manager, does your people have anything to say in this? You are the manager, right?
I am the manager. I have a conflict. We do have a representative from the Orange Bowl. if
Well,
you'd
why
like.
did you say so?
I
What
did. I wrote a memo to the fact and added it as an
I'm
agenda.
sorry, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So, if we do have a representative from the Orange Bowl committee here, if you have any specific questions.
Who's the representative from the Orange Bowl? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you heard what I said.
I just stepped out. I just walked back in. I
Well-
apologize.
I'm trying to find out how much hard cash
Yes.
the Orange Bowl committee is putting into the legacy project.
Yeah, we're committing $500,000 and the upgrade to the track that we were intending to do in the resolution prior was a resurfacing, not a regutting of the entire track. And the city and the park came out to us and said, this track has been way overused, and it's great for the community that they're way overusing it. But we need to strip the entire track and redo the entire track. And for that, we can't do that for what we had budgeted in the first conditioning of the track.
So you're providing $500,000 only.
I'm sorry?
You're providing only $500,000.
Yes, correct. That's how we're working.
And how much are we providing as a city?
$750,000.
Okay, so that's more than the 50-50 split. Do we have that money, the extra $250 that you're asking? I would assume that the other $500,000 was in last fiscal year's budget, correct, that we approved? So my question is, the additional $250,000 that you're requesting, was that approved for this year's fiscal year's budget? In our budget when we approved it?
Yes, Natasha Colebrook Williams, Assistant City Manager. Yes, it's in this year's budget.
Okay, that's all I want to get on the record, because what I'm trying to do, and I'm sorry if I'm taking a little bit of time to do it, is try to make sure that we're in a straight financial line, that we're not spending monies that have not been approved and are not within our budget, so that this doesn't become a free-for-all and we end up at the end of the year in trouble.
And I'm sorry.
That's why I'm good.
What I'd like to know is the timeline for the repair, because this park is in my district, and the track, as well as the whole park, is well used, from seniors in the morning, stretching their legs, getting their exercise, to the kids using the park. From before dawn until after sunset, this park is in use. So when do you anticipate?
Currently, right now, we had the go-ahead on the field, so we've been preparing for that, getting the vendors in place to get the field fixed and replaced. The track, pending this dollar figure, we didn't know whether to baseline it on a repair or a regutting and resurfacing the entire track. So once we get this blessing, we can then go ahead and get the vendors in place and go for that. I'm anticipating early spring probably to get the track, everything up to date, and the field done as well.
It's been a while since I've been to that park. I think the last time I was there, I beat Alonso on 1-on-1. But the question that I have, the last one I think, do we have outdoor exercise equipment there, Madam Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah,
You have,
I remember.
do you have, we have outdoor exercise equipment there?
Limited equipment.
Yes, limited equipment, but yes, we do.
And nobody has complained that they don't want outdoor exercise equipment there, correct?
No, no.
Well, why is it that all our parks have outdoor exercise equipment? Nobody complains, and because I got two Grinches that hate the world, have no life, that's what the Miami Herald wants to talk about.
So, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
and thank you for your generosity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once
And
again,
my apologies, Chair. Sir, if I could just have your name for the record, sir?
Mitch Morrill, Chief Administrative Officer for the Orange Bowl Committee.
Thank you. So just for the record, so no one's confused, I have a motion and a second for RE1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as amended.
Okay,
And
And just for the record, Chair, there are some backup documents being submitted for RE4.
thank you. All in
right.
favor?
hold on, I got another slight question on the, RE3, RE4, RE5. On RE5, it's the same question that I had for Commissioner King's district in RE4. The $2 million that we have in RE5, was that part of what was approved on this year's new fiscal year's budget?
Yes, sir, it's actually a reallocation from another project. So money's being moved from one project to another.
But was that?
It was already in
budget?
place, that was fully funded, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
That's RE5, right?
Yeah, that's all that I want to get on the record. Okay. Hold on, RE6. This is with the Marine Stadium.
Yeah, that's the one that we just discussed.
61,200,000.
Yes, sir.
And when are you planning on going out with these bonds? In the worst market possible that we have today.
I'd have to get back to you on that, sir. I don't anticipate us going anytime for this project before the middle of fiscal year, 2024, so.
Okay, well, let me say this on the record. And this item has come back a couple of times.
Yes.
I think the last time it was before us was when the not-so-great Colonel was here as city manager. And I brought up the fact that my biggest concern was that this was going to be a white elephant, another one, that we were going to have yearly deficits on, insizable. Neither then nor now have I seen any kind of financial analysis of how much money we're going to lose there. Or even, if you want to amuse me and be super creative, how are you going to make believe that we're going to make a profit there? Back then, what the ask was, if I remember correctly, was about $40 million. Then I was
45.
told, Commissioner, no way. We'll keep that at that. Now, we're at the number that I said, that it would be over $60 million. So the administration has now stated that I was correct in what I was saying. That's then, this is now. Now I'm going to tell you that the 61,200,000 is going to end up being well over 70 million, and I'm being conservative. All that for a place that is going to give us a deficit every year, that we're not going to have that demand for it. Now, there is a certain requirement that we have some kind of stadium there, but that was with the county years ago. And there are some that they have with us that are kind of gray too. But that particular requirement in that contract between both parties didn't say that it had to be this stadium and this size. And I submit to you that if we would give the same attention, provide the same monies to affordable housing in our community, we could do a lot better for our residents than going into a white elephant just because the pillars of the community say, we want it, but they don't pay for it. Just like they didn't pay for the opera houses, the performing arts centers, just like they didn't pay for the museums. And just between those two little items, it's well over $1 billion that we've given. But we can't give anything even close to that to affordable housing or to mentor, provide touring to our inner city kids for the future. So, do you have a pro forma that is going to show me what you're projecting that this is going to bring in income and what it's going to cost us to maintain it, plus in today's super high interest rate that we reached the highest in years last week?
It's going up.
Yeah, what is this going to cost us? And how much we're going to lose every year? And, you know, I need that even before I could contemplate voting no for it.
So, through the chair, Vice Chair, my general answer in the context of this item is, you know, we are advancing two components of the redevelopment of the area, as I stated earlier, that we've been awarded grant funding, which is the boat ramp and the mooring field components of it, which are the two smallest, as I know you already know of those. With regards to the stadium itself, we have engaged consultants to do a lot of the analysis that you are referring to. We have had several meetings, myself, the manager as well, and committee and OCI and, you know, a bunch of the administration looking at.
Commissioner, and also, sorry to interrupt, I also met with one of the consultants because I'm a huge advocate of preserving the stadium. I actually commit to advocate for it to make sure that it's not going to become a white elephant, find funding from anywhere else just for historic preservation. So I've been trying to imagine a vision for it that I think that could be very, very useful for the community.
Commissioner, I have always, since you've been here, tried to
But I share your concern.
be in your
I share your
side
concern.
to help you in votes and so on, but this is one that I am not going to drink the Kool-Aid because I've been around for decades and I've seen how the pillars of the community are. They lead you to drink the Kool-Aid and then you go over the cliff and then they don't want to talk about it. They forget about it.
I understand.
And the ones
I
that are
understand you.
paying the bill are us, the residents of Miami. So before we advance in this one, I want to get a lot of additional information. I want to know the deficit, who's going to commit to paying for it for the years to come, because I'm not going to leave my name into something that is going to cost the taxpayers millions of dollars into the future, and it's going to constantly be in additional maintenance. This is right in the water, right in the water. So the minute you built it, you're forced to maintain it. And each year that goes by is more and more and more. And then my question is, how are we going to have that place full? I don't know what demand there is. There wasn't a demand back then, I assure you. So in today's world, I don't know if we're going to have any more demand than back then when we didn't have it. So I need to get those answers.
Why don't we, how timely is this, Mr.
Well,
Strings? I mean, because if I would prefer to then defer it
Well-
and make sure that we can get all that information.
If you will allow me, through the chair, I would prefer that you not defer this item because this item is actually not advancing any debt at this time. This
Any
is
what?
just, this item does not advance any debt at this time. What this item is saying is we intend at a future date to advance debt. And in the meantime, while we're going through our planning process, we do have some actual real capital needs that have been grant matched, and we will reimburse ourselves at a future date.
Yeah, but
So-
then we just gave you a blank check, Larry.
No,
So you could sign it anytime you want.
well,
So
no,
why don't
because
you
you
come back-
approved the
why don't-
bond
why
deal
don't you
as
come
well. I
back?
have to bring it back.
Why don't you come back and
Okay.
give me the areas that you need minus the stadium for the grant money? And I'll probably approve those today, give my vote for it.
You can actually make that modification on the dais today. I just need to give you what the dollar amount is.
Okay, give me the dollar amount, come back,
Okay?
on those other ones, less the stadium.
Not a problem.
So for now, I'm going to take out RE6 of our voting, and we are going to vote on well, I need a motion for RE1, RE4, 5, 7, and 8 as amended.
There's a motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. And at this time, we'll hear RE3, the mitigation. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners,
How are you?
Chairwoman, Commissioner Coble, Chairman Carroyo. Robert Santos Alborna, Co-Compliance Director. I'm here to present on the mitigation item. Property address is 2621 Northwest 2nd Avenue. This case reverts back to 2021. Notice of violations were issued on August 20th, 2021. The case is for a failure to operate without a certificate of use and BTR. The violations were adjudicated on November 10th, 2021, and the violations ran for a total of 499 days, accruing a total of $124,750. Respondent is offering $15,000. I spoke with Mr. Andrew Atkins, who will provide information regarding the respondent and their efforts to comply.
And you said they are offering how much?
They are offering $15,000.
Which amounts to?
It's 12% of the total accrued fine. Also with me is Legal Division Chief Rachel Dooley, who can elaborate on some of the challenges that they had.
And the total amount owed is $124,750?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good
Thank you.
morning, Attorney Dooley. How are you today?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Rachel Dooley on behalf of the Office of the City Attorney. This case was assigned to me when the property owner plaintiff did file a quiet title action. I've worked very well with their counsel, who's present here today. This is a large commercial retail center. The property was purchased by the current owner in March of 2021. They were cited in August of 2021. The issue dealt with tenants, not with the actual structure itself, but rather the CUs and BTRs for the several tenants within the units within the structure. It went to hearing in November, I believe, 10th. We also did receive, and I have received and confirmed with counsel that as of November 16th of 2021, the owner did send notices of breach out to the tenants who were in violation because the owner was present at the hearing before the board, finding out that they were not in compliance. So they dealt with it at that point. So yes, they're offering $15,000. It ran to $124,750. The property itself has about 16 different addresses for it, which can create issues when it comes to applying for CUs. And so I believe there was also some of those issues. The main address is 2621 Northwest 2nd Avenue, but mostly it shows as 2nd Avenue Circle. So if somebody applies under just the avenue without adding the circle, then they'll get problems with their application. So council can elaborate on that, but I think that was one of their main issues.
Good morning.
Good morning. For the record, my name is Andrew Atkins. I'm the attorney for Winwood Block Realty LLC. Good morning, Madam Chairman, Commissioner. Pretty much what Rachel said was on point. This involves the tenants of the property, not our client. I believe there's 26 different spaces at this property, comprised of about 10 tenants who didn't have, at the time, some of them didn't have BTRs and CUs. Once landlord learned of it, they actually got a hold of me. I went back to my records because I understood that this was important to know when did we first learn of the situation. So myself and my client yesterday went through everything, and I found emails. First email on this issue was, I believe, November 11, 2021. My client contacted me and said, "You need to start getting default letters out to these tenants because they don't have their CUs." We did. I sent letters to every tenant. From that point forward, the landlord took over and was putting the pressure on the tenants to get these. The applications were submitted. There were two roadblocks that were beyond the control of the tenant and the landlord. One was that the total square footage of the property on record was incorrect. The prior owner, because my client purchased the property in March of 21, the prior owner had taken 10% of the common areas and put that on the record. The city, it did not match with the actual square footage of the property. Everything had to be remeasured. Every application was denied. Once that issue was resolved, then all the addresses changed. So I forget how many, might have been 16 different, every tenant had to have a different address, causing further delays in the process. Our client was diligent in trying to get this done. At the same time, they were redoing the property. I don't know if you've seen pictures of before and after, but the property looks incredible now as compared to what it originally was purchased just in 2 years. So I understand we're asking more on the lower end of the mitigation, and the only basis for that is that this situation was beyond the control of our client and even beyond the control of the tenants. So that's why we're asking for the resolution on the lower end, and we feel it's appropriate, and we appreciate your consideration.
Attorney, what are they doing up there?
Halloween, it looks like Halloween decorations.
Can you let them know that?
What are you celebrating up there, Mr. Manager?
It's Halloween.
Oh, it's the mayor's office? We're not invited? We're not invited?
It's a lot of ruckus up there. Attorney Dooley, he said that everyone submitted their applications, but it was rejected because of the square footage was incorrect. When was that? When did that happen?
I believe that occurred in very late 2021 and early 2022. So it was within, a few months of having that, and I think they had to resurvey the entire property. They had to get a surveyor out there and resurvey to figure out what the proper square footage was. Then after that point, they had to reapply again. It still did take, from the city's perspective, it wouldn't have needed to take as long as it did. But yes, the problems at the beginning were very real and made it difficult to comply timely with the 90 days. Unfortunately, an extension of time wasn't requested, which would have saved it, but we wouldn't be here if that was the case. But I think other than that, yes. I mean, they did move it along.
Okay, do you have any questions?
I do. What is the total amount in liens that the property has?
What was that?
Total liens?
Oh,
Dollar
it's
amount?
Almost 125,000.
124,750.
And how much are they offering?
15,000.
What percent?
12%.
15,000. Okay. What says the chair is in your district?
Let me see. Commissioner, do you have any?
No.
No. For me, I don't think that I can go lower than 15%. I understand the challenges that the owner has, but you're here before us for a reason. And I typically don't go under 20%, and I'm willing to go 15%. I go 20, 25, because we set this up, my colleagues and I, for a reason to make sure that we try to curtail this kind of conduct. And I'm willing to go with the 15 because of the hardships. No fault of your own.
For the record, Madam Chair, that amount will go to $18,712.50.
How much was it?
$18,712 with 50 cents.
That's fair?
Good?
Yeah, I think that's great.
I'm going to do a little more calculating here. 18,712.50. I don't like odd numbers, Sheriff Tim. We should make it 19,000 even.
You know, I don't like odd numbers either, but I'm okay with that. 19?
19.
An even 19?
Okay.
I have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
As amended?
As amended. We are on our second reading items. Madam City Attorney, would you please read the titles into the record for us?
For SR 1 and 2, correct?
Yes.
Thank
All
you.
of them.
SR 1, SR 2.
SR 1, 2, 3,
Three
and
and,
4.
Three.
Okay, thank you. An ordinance of the Miami City Commission naming the parcels of land consisting of approximately 37,500 square feet located at 3701 Southwest First Avenue, 3699 Southwest First Avenue, and 3691, 3693, and 3695 Southwest First Avenue, Miami, Florida, folio 0141390070, 3900141390073, 03800141390070 respectively, and other contiguous parcels that may be added in the future as Woodside Park, amending Chapter 38, Article 1 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended titled Parks and Recreation in General by creating Section 38-36 titled Naming of Woodside Park. Further directing the city manager to take any and all actions necessary to effectuate the naming of the park, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. SR 2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 12.5, Article 1, Division 3, Sections 12.542, 12.544, 12.545 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended titled Purpose, Powers, and Duties, Governing Body, Composition, and Appointments, Terms of Office, Vacancies, Membership, Qualifications, Procedures for Appointment of Members, Oath, Quorum, and Voting, Meetings, Attendance, Requirements, Indemnification, President, Chief Executive Officer, Appointment, Term, Qualifications, Compensation, General Powers and Responsibilities to amend the requirements of the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. SR 3, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending Chapter 4, Section 4-6 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended titled Alcoholic Beverages, Entertainment Districts, more particularly by amending the Overtown Entertainment District in order to modify the district's boundaries as depicted in Exhibit O, attached and incorporated, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. SR 4, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 10, Article 5 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended titled Buildings Code Relief Program, more particularly by amending Section 10-75 of the City Code to create a short-term enhanced side setback administrative adjustment pilot program for the City of Miami's existing code relief program and creating Section 10-76 titled Driveway Amnesty Program to provide for a setback adjustment for existing driveways at single-family homes and duplex properties containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for SR 1, 2, 3, and 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Madam City Attorney, would you please read into the record FR2?
FR2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 55, Section 55-14 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Subdivision Regulations, Encroachments onto, into, below, and/or above rights-of-way, public easements, private easements, or emergency access easements, exceptions to include for the allowance of an encroachment into private easement containing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. In between first and second, we're going to make sure that the hold harmless and indemnification agreement is done or signed by both the requesting parties and the holder of the private easement in order to make sure that that's indemnified if there's any encroachment. FR.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you.
May I have a motion for FR2?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. At this time, we're going to take up the board appointments. Mr. City Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. Planning, Zoning, and Appeals Board. Commissioner Carroll will be appointing Joseph Corral to one of his seats on the Planning, Zoning, and Appeals Board.
Do I need a, I have a motion.
Move.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Chair.
Now, do we want to take up the PC items first or discussion?
Can we come
item?
back?
You know, we
after-
could finish this up before lunch.
Lunch is now 12:08.
I mean, we have PZ and, you want to take lunch?
Yeah, but it's going to take quite some time. And,
There's a lot of them that are deferred, you know.
well, can we come back, even if it's coming back earlier? I don't mind.
Okay, it's 2 o'clock.
Okay, that's fine.
Coming back at 2. Okay.
We'll come back at 2.
One item maybe, if we could take, so they don't have to come back, the one that I requested, the guarantees on
For the Bay of Pigs.
other properties on 8th Street, the item for the Brigade Museum.
That will be PZ 18 and
Yeah.
19 because they're companion items.
Yeah, can we just take those so
I'm
that
okay
they don't
with
have to come back?
Madam
They
Chair,
have to be read into the record.
it's actually one item, it's the legislation, it should be
PZ
PZ 19.
19?
That's correct.
Right, now,
Okay.
what I've asked for is that I want to pass this. I just want the guarantee within the ordinance that whatever changes we're making are for a museum only. And this will not give the right into the future for anyone else in the long 8th Street corridor on either side to want to ask for higher density in height and what they could build.
Commissioner, so the legislation as written, the eligible property has to meet criteria. It has to be a government-owned or nonprofit facility, first and foremost. It also has to meet the requirement of 30 years being able to have that use on site. So it's a very restrictive criteria within the legislation as written, sir. If you would like to make a modification based on just only museums, that's something we
The
can.
modification is that it would only be for museums. This way, they can move forward, but we're protecting that area from greedy developers coming in and wanting to build the sky's the limit.
Would you like to make that amendment between first and second?
Excuse me?
Would you like to make that additional amendment about it only being for
Can we,
museum
make
purposes?
Can we make it right now?
I wouldn't know the language right now to add to it to make it super specific like that, but you don't want, then, Commissioner, I would
I
ask.
don't want Iris bringing her clients so they could, you know.
Right, so
do
I have
whatever
all
they
types
want.
of clients. I have the pig clients, I have other clients. Right, so the only concern I have and why I wouldn't want to write it on the spot, I would either like to do between first and second or have the lunchtime to give you the appropriate language because
it would have to be only for museum purpose versus museum on the first and second floor and a skyscraper on top or something, so, you know what I mean? So I would
Then
prefer a
I'm
little bit
sorry,
of-
but we're going to have to bring it back today so that she could have the right language put in it, that you get to build, but no one else can come in and do anything else. So she'll bring
So
this
that I'm
up to
clear,
lunch.
Commissioner, it will just be to increase the density for the museum.
If I,
Just to make it the use for only museums.
Only
Museum
museum.
use only.
There's no increase in density.
No.
If I may, Chairwoman, I just wanted to also clarify one of the points that the Commissioner raised. This is an amendment to allow a use, so the height is the same as currently allowed. There's no increase in footprint or square footage or
That was
height.
my
The
question.
volume of whatever building is there has to remain the same, so there's nothing of that. It is only the use that is being requested to be allowed the use, and we have no objection to the museum use being objected, because that's what the goal is. So thank you very much. I just want to clarify, there's no height increase or building volume or footprint or anything being changed. This is a use that would go through a warrant to be reviewed through site plan.
And Iris, as you well know, the devil is in the wording and details. So I want to clarify for the future,
Understood.
so people don't come and try to piggyback in something that was never meant for anybody else but for this right here.
Understood. We appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Having that consideration that we need to do, I'm going to recess the meeting until 2 o'clock so that you could get the appropriate language. Sorry, guys, but we want to make sure that it's right for you.
Madam Chair, I also had a call from Commissioner Reyes that wanted to make sure that this museum provision would be nice to make sure that we solidify so that,
So we'll break for lunch, and we'll be back at 2 o'clock. Thank you all.